Big day, 2 big sessions today, 2 quality sessions. We have hour and a half on the trainer. These intervals are going to be at 110% of FTP for four 10-minute intervals at 110% of FTP. So total of, wow, this is actually going to be really hard. Anyways, it's going to be a really hard set. We have 3 sets of 10-minute intervals of 110% of my FTP. And then we're going to be moving into a track workout later in the day with some 1-mile repeats going sub 6 minutes towards the end. So days like today where, it's late in the week, you're starting to feel tired. Luckily yesterday had some great nutrition in me. But you're starting to feel tired, your body's starting to feel the training for the week. It's really important to just really focus on your workouts for the day and just checking the boxes. That's the biggest thing. And not trying to be a superstar and just killing out the numbers and just trying to go way over it, but just checking the boxes and going through the routines, because tomorrow you still got to train. Saturday you still got to train. Sunday you still got to train. And your long days are on the weekends, so the biggest days are still yet to come. So on these workouts, it's important to fuel your body and know what you're putting in. Electrolyte-wise, it's actually pretty warm in here. I'm not going to open up the window today. So I'm kind of simulating, there's no airflow. I don't have a fan. I'm simulating hot temperatures. So it'll probably get up to close to 80 to 85 degrees in here. And then with no wind, if you think about it on the bike, it's even warmer. So I'm going to be sweating a lot in the next hour and a half. I use Scratch. I've used Scratch for my electrolyte source since I did my first marathon 2 years ago. This is just the only one that I've found so far. I've only tried a few. This one's the easiest on my stomach. It's pretty clean as far as what's inside of it. And I normally throw in, it says a scoop and a half per bottle. So a scoop and a half would be 120 calories, total of 40 grams of carbs, and around 600 to 700 milligrams of sodium. So if it's just like an hour and a half or under 2-hour bike ride, I won't do any additional carbs in my bottles. I'll just do an electrolyte mix. So a scoop and a half in 3 different bottles. So every 30 minutes, that's what I'm taking in. And then I'm trying to eat as much whole foods as I can while I'm inside, and I can control what I'm eating. When I'm outdoors and I'm on my bike, I can't be carrying around like 10 bananas because I just don't have space for it. So I'll be throwing in gels. I'll be throwing in like shot blocks. I'm sure you all have seen those. Maybe like a little bit of peanut butter with like rolled up in a tortilla, like something small like that I can get in calories when I need them. But I can't be carrying around a ton of bananas. So when I'm on the stationary bike or on the trainer, I can kind of just load up whatever food I need here, because space doesn't really matter. Space isn't an issue. But you always want to fuel your body with real foods, because it's going to digest them so much better, and you're going to perform better as well with real foods, versus like if I'm always taking down goos and gels, my stomach can be easily upset. A lot of that stuff is processed, and it's just like straight sugar. So I'd rather get my sugar from fruits or my sugar from like my Scratch source and not overloading it with gels if I don't have to on some of these training rides. So hour and a half, I'm just going to take in a banana and then 3 bottles. So a bottle every 30 minutes for today's session. You can digest a lot more on the bike than you can on the run. So in today's track workout, we'll talk about my nutrition for that later on. But this is I could probably eat 600 to 700 calories on the bike and digest it. So when I'm pushing big power, I actually have a carb source that I'm going to add to my bottles. Like on Ironman race day, I'm going to be taking in like 600 to 650 calories an hour and up to 100 carbs an hour in each one of my bottles. So right now, I'm obviously not doing that. I'm taking in close to, let's see, what is this? Around just under 200 calories an hour, which is a drastic difference. But in an hour and a half, I'm not going to deplete my body enough to where I really need that extra fuel. But I don't want to rely on the super fuel in every single workout, because it's not going to be like a rocket fuel source for me if I'm using it every single day. My body's gonna get used to that many carbs and used to burning that many calories. So I'm kind of like leaning into, I'm gonna barely use enough of what I need in these indoor shorter sessions. And then when I get outside and I really need something, I'm gonna throw it in my body and my body's gonna use it as rocket fuel, because these extra carbs, like, oh my gosh, I have so much energy, I can produce a lot more power and I can produce like a lot more energy for what I've put in my body. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But anyways, on the run, it's different. You can't digest enough calories on the run in order to overdo it. Either you're gonna get sick because your body's not gonna let you digest the calories when you're racing because your heart rate's gonna be too high. And it's just like, I'm not gonna be chugging 600 calories every 30 minutes when I'm running at a really fast pace. So we'll talk about the run nutrition later, but that's my nutrition for the bike today. Gonna knock out these FTP intervals, get them done, then we'll take a short break, eat a little bit of food, and then we'll head to the track. So let's jump into it. So, still in the warm-up phase, but these 10-minute intervals that we're gonna hit at 110% of FTP are designed to be in the aero position. And it's getting us comfortable with, you know, pushing big power in these aero bars, because in the race, we're gonna wanna stay in aero position as long as we can. You're gonna get so much faster over the next 120 miles or 112 miles of the Ironman bike course. You know, in that aero position is going to save you a couple minutes on your bike split at least. So we want to be able to get comfortable pushing the power we need to push in those bars compared to being straight up. You'd be surprised, it's harder than it looks. You really gotta have good mobility in your hips. I have a bad right hip. You gotta have good hip mobility, you gotta have good hamstring mobility. Overall, just good mobility throughout your body in order to get in a really aero position and be able to push the big power you need to on the bike. So, about to hop into these intervals in a few more minutes. And that's what they're designed to do. Get you comfortable with pushing that power in the aero bars.
I get those goosebumps every time you come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. This way too dumb, yeah.
That was rough. You know, I thought those intervals were gonna be hard pushing the power, but it was the heat. It's hot in here. No fan, no window open. Ride done. No window open. Just hot, not used to the heat. It's like, it's just flurrying outside here in Louisville. Like, we'll have a 70-degree degree day one day, and today it's, what, in the upper 30s? So I'm not used to the heat and the humidity yet, but it was good because now we know where we're at with this type of temperature we're riding. But man, those intervals were tough. Now we got to get some food in us and recover the legs before this big boy track session we got. Oh. Directly after the workout, chocolate milk. Gotta fuel the machine, baby. Gotta fuel the machine. Nothing better. Getting the nutrition ready for the run. Track workout. A little bit of a mess up here, but changing it up a little bit. I'm actually gonna do 2 scoops in 1 bottle of Scratch. So this one's gonna be just filled with a ton of, let's see, that'll be 790 milligrams of sodium, 42 grams of carbs, and 160 grams of protein. I'm gonna fill this one up with that, so it's going to be loaded, and then the other one's just going to be water. So when I'm doing the intervals, I'm just going to squeeze some of this, and I can't drink as much when I'm doing these 1 mile repeats So that's why I'm just loading up one bottle so that I can get a lot more in, you know, for 4 to 6 ounces, whatever I can get down. And I think I have 90 seconds rest in between my mile repeats. So that's what I'm gonna squeeze down so I can get as much nutrients in as possible. I don't really need a ton of fluids right now because it's 41 degrees outside. So I don't think I'm gonna be sweating near as much as I would in 75 degrees. So that's why I'm not doing 2 bottles full of scratch, because I won't be needing 2 full bottles of fluids in my body because I'm not sweating that much. So that's what I'm gonna fuel on the run. Sometimes I'll do a gel before the run as well, but I'm not like out of goos right now. I just ordered some on Amazon, so hopefully they'll be here next week. And that is the nutrition plan for today's track session. So we made it out here to the track. We're on to the run session in today's video. Second session of the day. We had that bike workout this morning. Now we're on the track for some speed work. Today we're starting with 1 mile warm up easy into 1 mile straights and bends, which is you sprint or do some strides on the straights and then you jog the bends of the track. And then the main set is 3 times 1 mile with 90-second rest. We're gonna start around 6:20 pace and then work down. We're gonna descend from there, possibly moving into the 5s depending on how I feel, and then 1 mile easy cool down. So what we're doing here is we're simulating running on tired legs and having some quick turnover in the legs after a strong bike session, because when I get off the bike in the Ironman after pushing some power and a good solid effort, my legs are gonna feel, you know, fatigued and tired. So this is simulating running on tired legs, quick turnover, and some speed work. We're gonna hit a quick pre-activation before we get running, and then we're gonna hop into some main sets.
Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
I want to talk about something. Those mile repeats, the amount of pain it takes to finish those is so high, but the second you finish, the reward is so great. It's like a lot of things in life. We work hard until things get tough, and then we start to give up. You keep pushing, things will get easier. When you finally jump over that barrier, that's when you start to see success. A lot of people aren't willing to take the pain. Gotta be willing to take the pain to get the results. No 0 days, baby. Oh, that was tough. Maybe one of the hardest workouts I've done so far this prep. Finished. It was 7 miles total of work. 3 of those were the mile repeats. And man, feeling good. Workout done. Man, it's crazy how hard it is to actually run on tired legs. That bike workout this morning was no joke. It was actually really hard. 110% of FTP effort on the bike for an hour and a half of intervals. And then coming here and doing a speed work on top of it, which requires a lot of leg strength. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie, I loved every minute of it. Because this is what This is the feeling right now after finishing a really hard workout. I can't even explain it. It's just the best feeling in the world, knowing that you're pushing yourself, continuously pushing yourself to another level. And I'm obsessed with finding, you know, how good can I, let me read that. I'm obsessed with seeing how far I can take my body when it comes to performance and fitness and body optimization. And I feel like today really pushed myself to a new level. I think I leveled up in my speed game. I think I leveled up in what is actually possible when it comes to running on tired legs. And this is just another step forward to a 70.3 race coming later this year. So excited, confident, ready to get back to racing, baby. Let's get it.